Welcome back. Let's turn to our COVID Get Real India special. With more hospitalizations during this second COVID wave, health insurance claims have also shot up. But many are struggling to pay their hospital bills and claim that insurance companies have left them in a lurch. Today's ground report on an issue that should concern us all. Take a look.
The COVID second wave has proved to be more infectious and also deadlier as more people needed to be hospitalized for treatment. But after the COVID nightmare, many patients and their families are struggling to cope. They have been left with mammoth hospital bills and no way to pay up. Sanjeev Saxena, a resident of Noida, had to get his wife admitted to a hospital after her condition deteriorated. The hospital bill was over 6 lakhs and Sanjeev, despite having health insurance, had to pay up with his credit card.
9 साल पुरानी पॉलिसी को लेने के बाद अगर आदमी को इतना सफ़र करना पड़ता है तो फिर मेडिक्लेम की ज़रूरत क्या है। कैशलेस नहीं हुआ और मुझे कैश की व्यवस्था करनी पड़ी और इस दौरान कई दिनों से काम धंधे भी बंद हैं जिसकी वजह से पैसे की तो प्रॉब्लम थी।
Sanjeev is not alone. Pooja Tiwari in Maharashtra's Akola paid 22,000 rupees as premium, but when she, her husband and her daughter got COVID and had to be treated in hospital, their insurance company did not cover the expenses. Her hospital bill was nearly 3 lakhs. Her insurance company paid just 19,000 rupees.
22,000 प्रीमियम देके मैंने 15 लाख रुपए की पॉलिसी ली हुई थी इंश्योरेंस की, जो कि मेरे को इंश्योरेंस ने टोटली रिजेक्ट ही कर दी बोला जाएगा, क्योंकि उन्होंने मेरे इतने ईमेल करने के बाद कंज्यूमर कोर्ट में जाने की, उनको जब मैंने वार्निंग दी कि मैं कंज्यूमर कोर्ट में जाऊंगी, तब जाके उन्होंने मेरे को 19,000 रुपीस दिए हैं.
Rahul Sharma bought a Mediclaim policy in May 2020, specifically to cover COVID costs. And yet, after his hospitalization, he's not received any money.
कंपनी ये दावा करती है कि 14 दिन में क्लेम मिल जाना चाहिए, लेकिन हमें ऑलमोस्ट 1 महीना हो चला है, अभी क्लेम की कोई राशि हमें नहीं मिली है और बार-बार किसी ना किसी कारण से वो कुल मिला के इस पूरे मामले को खींच रहे हैं.
Insurance companies are also hugely overburdened with more hospitalizations in the second wave. They are struggling to process all claim requests in time.
Many a times we've seen the hospitals not cooperate with the patients and the patients go through hell. If certain list check of documents is needed and the hospital doesn't give it to the claimant, it's very easy to blame the insurance company for not settling it, but actually the input is not going right.
Amid the COVID nightmare, people are now struggling with financial repercussions and mammoth hospital bills running to lakhs. And these are people who ensured they covered all bases, who ensured that they are insured. Bureau Report, India Today.
And joining me now on what the medical insurance situation is, Bejon Mishra, founder Patient Safety and Access, and Sanjeev Kumar Saxena, a relative of a COVID-19 patient, and Ashish Jam, Director and CEO, Infina Insurance Broking. Let's come to you, Ashish, first, because you should tell us, why is it that so many people are struggling with their medical insurance claims? You all make all these big advertisements, and then when people get hit by COVID, they struggle for their medical insurance claim. Where is the problem?
I think the problem, Rajdeep, is that insurance is a contract and it depends upon documentation. Unfortunately, people are not guided properly on the kind of documents that are needed to be submitted so that the claims are honored. And the guidance level, of course, is happening both at the intermediary level or it is happening at the hospital level also, where, you know, the basic documents, if there is awareness which is there, the insurance regulator has given several directives which say that COVID cases have to be given. So we have to have proper documentation is the key to claim settlement.
Let me ask that to Sanjeev Kumar Saxena. Sanjeev Kumar, you're a relative of a COVID-19 patient who has struggled with your insurance. Is the problem documentation? Give us your example.
डॉक्यूमेंट्स तो सर बात की बात है, जब किसी हॉस्पिटल के साथ में पैनल में अगर इंश्योरेंस कंपनी है और वो इस पेंडेमिक में उस हॉस्पिटल को हटा देती है और हम ये सोच के जाते हैं कि ये हमें कैशलेस हो जाएगा और कैशलेस नहीं होता है वहां पर।
तो सबसे बड़ी
सबसे
बड़ी दिक्कत क्या हो रही है आपको?
सबसे बड़ी सर यही दिक्कत है कि हमने तो ये सोचा था इस हॉस्पिटल से स्टार का जो है कोलैबोरेशन है और हम यहाँ जा रहे हैं तो कैशलेस हो जाएगा, वहां जाकर के पता लगा कि नहीं, अभी पिछले महीने से ही कैशलेस खत्म हो गया है।
I see. You know, Bejon Mishra, we are getting a number of complaints. The reason we've done this, number of complaints of people saying they are not getting their medical insurance claims in time. At a time when people's incomes are falling, that's the last thing they need, is not getting their medical insurance in time. Why is this happening?
It is happening only because of the slackness of the regulator. You see, the Insurance Regulatory Authority is not doing enough to protect the interest of the consumers. They are only busy making policies which are in favor of the service providers, that is the insurance companies. So unfortunately, the regulator doesn't come heavily when any breach of contract is done.
No, but so what is your recommendation? I am a citizen, I have just come out of hospital after COVID, 3 or 4 lakhs is my bill. The medical insurance company is not giving me my monies right away. What is my solution?
No, the solution will never come till we do not make the regulator understand that they have to start fining the insurance company for breaching the contract. If supposing you have promised cashless and I go to the hospital and I find their deal listed and they have not informed me on time that they are delisted, then a heavy penalty should be imposed on the insurance company, number one. Number two, my recommendation is any consumer who has to go to the consumer court to fight out in terms of compensation and delays and not taking care, all expenditure, legal expenditure, should be taken care by the government or by the insurance company against whom we are fighting it out. Because then only, like in UK, for example, when I went and studied insurance there, I found that the ombudsman is paid their fees by the insurance company when a consumer goes and complains to the ombudsman. And the board members of the insurance company challenge the CEO that why did this thing happen? Why couldn't you resolve the complaint at the insurance company level? So the pressure has to be that the insurance company should resolve the complaint and not push the consumer to go to the court to claim compensation.
Because let's be honest, the last thing I need after coming out of a hospital is go to court. I don't want to fight a battle with an insurance company.
So that is exactly what I'm saying, Rajdeep, is that we should not allow consumer to go to the court. It has to be settled by the insurance company. And in case the consumer is forced to go, then all expenditure has to be taken by the insurance company to engage lawyers, to take care of legal expenses.
Ashish, is part of the problem simply that the sheer demand at the moment for the number of claims that are being made in COVID times because of the increased hospitalizations has pushed the insurance companies into a position where they can't handle it? I mean, I come back to it. You make all these advertisements, lure people to take insurance, but at the critical time you're not there, and many of you are apparently saying, look, go for documentation, something, you're blaming everyone else but yourselves.
See, what I'll tell you about Rajdeep in context to what you're saying. See, the insurance industry is here. Basically, there is a perception that insurance industry doesn't want to pay. It's not like that. The first part is, as far as the regulator is concerned, there are enough and more regulations and circulars that have been issued asking, that cashless should be paid, very, very quickly. There are network hospitals which are prevalent all over. Yes, there is a humongous pressure on claims. But as far as what the gentleman just spoke, there is the claim grievance department in every insurance company, which can be approached by the policyholder. And after that, there is the ombudsman. But nevertheless, rather than going to that stage, one should see that the paperwork is correct. And I can tell you that the insurance companies have to honor the claims because they are under regulation to honor the claims.
So you're saying that, but we've given instances after instances, case studies where these claims are not being honored. So clearly there is a difference between what the insurance companies would like to happen and what is actually happening on the ground. We've given a case where documentation has become a burden, But clearly these are questions. I appreciate your joining us, and I hope that we can carry this forward with a wider debate on the larger issue of medical insurance in the days ahead.